Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at uranium energy. It is time for another update, and today we'll be discussing the implications of the failure to form a more reliable structure in this area. But before we get there, I want to go quickly through the larger time frame for any of you who might be new. And here we are basically tracking a series of 1-2 setups that would expect to be followed by a wave 3 to the upside. Now, since we don't necessarily have a very clean and clear structure within this movement that would allow a wave 3, we need to be aware of certain implications, such as having an even more significant top form within this area once we actually have the entire 5-wave move to the upside complete. Now, we will continue to focus here on the internal structure until we actually get either a failure to hold the area of support in the white scenario, or until we get at least another movement, another leg up to complete this structure. Once this is done, even if we don't manage to follow through in the blue interpretation, which is a very bullish scenario, we will be tracking here an internal area of support, but once again, it has implications that this could be a larger movement within a wave 1, and we could expect a more severe correction afterwards within a wave 2. But for now, we can still focus here on a continuation higher as long as we hold the $9 level, the 61.8% retracement, as even within this interpretation, even within the larger top interpretation in this area, we would still expect to form another high. And in this scenario, we are tracking basically an ending diagonal, or could be just a diagonal, a leading diagonal as well. So we are going to track it as a diagonal per total. But here we have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a third wave up, fourth wave down, and we would like to see a fifth wave form to the upside right now. And we do assume at the moment a bottom within the wave 4, although it is not absolutely needed, and we could still see a larger retracement within this correction all the way down to, as I was mentioning, the 61.8% retracement at the $9 level. And then in this area we also have the blue interpretation, which has managed to hold so far. We do still have the possibility of a 1-2 setup in this area, although this, again, as I always tell you, as I told you in many of the videos, this is not a high probability scenario. It is rather likely that we will end up following through, but in the white scenario, in the white interpretation, for which we basically pushed here in the wave 4 in a 3-wave move to the downside into the 50% retracement before getting our most significant reaction to the upside yet. Now, with that said, we have sufficient wave to the downside. We have a clear 3-wave correction. We were able to estimate quite accurately when we should have expected a bottom within this correction, and we still have here the area of resistance for continuation lower between the $12.5 level all the way up to the $15.7 level. And we have been focusing here specifically on the 61.8% retracement ever since I actually provided you this area of resistance, as it was lining up with very significant structural resistance, and surely enough we did get a couple of rejections, one stronger than the other, when we did get to this level. And while we didn't get a clear 5-wave move to the upside, this is really what we are left with. We did manage to form here a 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th, and although this 5th wave I would have liked to see further continuation, I would have liked to see basically an ABC movement in this area. We did kind of break here the level of support that we needed to hold at the 61.8% retracement for a reset within the wave 4. Technically we could consider that this was just a brief break below such a level of support, but in the end we also have out of proportions wave 2 and 4, and it is rather likely than not that other interpretations would work out better, would fit better within the structure of this chart. And this is why in the previous video, while we were still looking for continuation lower, I also provided you this area of support for a larger wave 1 to already be in place, and this would be between the $12.6 all the way down to the $10.9 level, where we managed to push here since the previous video perfectly into the 61.8% retracement. This is where we got our more significant reaction. And yes, in the previous video we were actually still looking for continuation lower, with even higher likelihood, and we had here the resistance area for the wave 4 correction. We pushed perfectly into the 38.2% retracement, and we completed here an internal 5-wave move to the downside within the wave C, as an ABC structure, exactly as expected, allowing us to consider a larger ABC movement complete now. And since we didn't manage, after forming the local low in this area, since we didn't manage to form a reliable and clear 5-wave move to the upside, we need to be prepared for actual further continuation lower. And yes, this is a very serious expectation we should have, since we don't have any signal that this structure should clearly continue higher. It is not impossible, but we don't necessarily have a very good suggestion that this pattern should continue higher. Yeah, sure, this could work out as a 1-2 setup, and we would have a larger leading diagonal possibly within the wave 1, possible as a larger wave A, where we pushed basically into the 61.8% retracement, while also retesting the 50% retracement for the green area of support. So it is hinting at a possible bottom already being in place and finding further support for continuation higher, but I don't necessarily have a trade setup to provide for this area. We don't have a reliable 5-wave move to the upside to look for a 3-wave correction and then another larger, potentially 5-wave move to the upside. So we still need to be aware and consider further continuation lower here, especially as long as we hold below the resistance area for a potential extension within an ABC movement. This could be an ABC, could be a WXY, doesn't matter too much, but we have here the resistance area with the levels between the $12.5 all the way up to the $13.8 level. So far we did get into this area, and we do have 3 waves, meaning we don't need anything else to consider this movement complete as a correction, and that we should be prepared for continuation lower if this is really to extend. We could see extensions higher. It is nothing telling us specifically that we should expect one path or the other, and yeah, that is unfortunate, but the market is still being very indecisive in this time frame. From a larger time frame perspective, sure, we have actually, let me remove some of these areas, or at least move the larger area of support that we can track here. But from a larger time frame perspective, we have a likely bottom within the wave 4. We have a clear 3-wave move to the downside. We have a potential 5-wave move to the upside that could work out. And right now we are still decently deep within the larger area of support for the wave 4 correction, which is still an interesting setup from a large time frame perspective. Once again, this is an accumulation zone that can be used for continuation higher in a 5th wave. Although it is entirely up to you what you do with this information. I'm not telling you to enter positions or realistically what to do. I'm just providing the data that I find relevant within the structures that we have here at hand. Now, with that said, I could be tracking here an internal ABC movement to the upside. As long as we hold here the $11.8 level, we can track higher continuation, but a break below this level would signal to me that something within the orange scenario idea is more likely to play out. And then if we break even below the $10.9 level, I would likely expect to continue within a larger correction in this wave 4 in white, and most likely invalidating the blue interpretation for the wave 2. For a complete invalidation, we actually need here a break below the $9.2 level, but we would already have a significant break in probabilities if we fall below the larger area of support. Sure, we did fall below a couple of times, but it was very, very quick weeks below it. We basically opened here, and even on the 5-minute time frame, we recovered immediately. And here it was just terms of like 1 hour. What was it? How long did we actually hold here below the area of support? Nothing significant really. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.